Good morning and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mamani. I hope you all are doing good. Real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present. What do you understand by this quote? Don't forget to pass your views in the comment section of this video. Now, what do we have here? Sorry about that. Right. So basically, dear friends, we have some important articles as you can see on your screen, right? This one is about to the brink. It's about North Korea. USA will go through it in detail. This is about India's foreign policy. We'll go through it in detail. Artificial intelligence garage. Can India become artificial intelligence garage of the world? We'll find out. This is about ceasefire violation. Now here you find this article and this one, right? Number one, number two, both these articles are not important for your examination because they are associated with the game of tennis. If you are interested in this game of tennis, then go through it, or else as far as your examination is concerned, it is not going to be that useful for you. Now here we have last article left. It is about keeping friends close. This article is talking about NDA, that is, let me make it a bit wide for you, National Democratic Alliance, right? BJP needs to make sure that all its friends, right, all its pals are with it in this 2019 election, or else it is going to be very turbulent, very difficult for BJP. That's what this article is talking about. You can have a quick glance, just one quick glance over it. And with this, dear friends, let's move on. Now, I have got a good news for all of you. We are going to provide, or in fact we are providing, up to 50% discount on all our pen drive and tablet courses and other items that we cater. To find out more about it, check out StudyIQ.com. Dear friends, if you have any question, if you have any queries regarding our pen drive and tablet courses, or anything you want to know about or find out about our pen drive and tablet courses, this is the number here, right? You have two numbers here. In fact, you can give us a call anytime you like between 10 in the morning and 7 in the evening. And you have chat support as well on our portal. So make sure you get in touch with us to find out more about it. And feel free to give us a call, right? I won't be there answering you, right? It will be our associates. So don't be afraid about it if you are. You know, many times students are a bit scared to have a word with. This happens in our country only, that they are a bit not so comfortable discussing things with teachers. Anyways, that's fine. With this, dear friends, if you want to get in touch with me, this is my Facebook page, this is my Twitter handle, and may I request you guys to hit the like button and share this lecture with other people if you genuinely believe that the things that we discuss are important and are top quality. Now, you can see on your screen, this is North America, and here you find this Korean Peninsula, right? Let me zoom it up for you guys. So here is Korean Peninsula, and here you have this Pacific Ocean in between. Now, why we are discussing the geography of this particular place, or this two different countries, USA and North Korea? Because as we are speaking today, right now, as I'm talking to you guys, recording this lecture for you guys, today is 12th June, and today is a big day for the world, because for the first time in the history, we are going to see this thing, or in fact, this thing is going on as we are speaking, right? President of USA and Supreme Leader of North Korea, they are chatting with each other. They are on a table. Both these countries are having a meeting here in a small nation state, right, or state nation of Singapore. In fact, here, exactly over here, they are having this conversation between them. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because if we go back in 2017, what we find is that things were very aggressive between these two countries, right? First of all, you know, back in 2017, North Korea said that it has got a sort of missile that can hit this part of USA. This is Alaska, by the way. And later on, it said that it has got this Hwasong 14 that can hit California, and later on it claimed that it can hit any part of USA. So this was a big, you can say, it was, you know, for a very long period of time, it was punching above its weight. That means it was doing this. North Korea was doing all those things that are that were against this superpower USA. That was it was defying United Nations. So it was doing all those things that it can, and things done by North Korea were very aggressive as well for the whole region, right? It was very frightening for Japan. It was very frightening for this country, South Korea, of course, and later on it started threatening USA as well. So this was, you can say, a limit was already means everything has a limit. So this was definitely a limit for the whole world. Now the whole world was very much concerned about this aggressive posture of North Korea. And at the same time, what we saw in 2017, Mr. Trump took over, and we know Mr. Trump now very well, the way he takes a decision. Of course, one thing that we have to admit here, that all the decisions taken by Mr. Trump are not wrong. Means I'm not supporting him or anything. Means I'm not in favor of any political party, as I've said earlier on as well. But one thing that we have to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, his main job or duty is to ensure welfare of the people of United States of America. So all these decisions, many times erratic decisions that he takes, are means up to best of his ability, are in interest of USA or the people of USA. Anyways, so for long this North Korea has been seen as an impoverished state run by megalomaniac dictators. Megalomaniac basically means people who are seeking unlimited power. But the thing is it because of this dictators we are seeing this sort of nuclear weapons in North Korea, or is it something else? The thing is, since if you go back to the history of this part of the world here, of this Korean peninsula, then you find after the Second World War, Cold War started between USSR and USA. At that point of time, during this Cold War era, there were some issues going on in this Korean peninsula. It was one country, it was known as Korea, and then later on they had a war with each other, starting from 50s, 51 to 53 they had this Korean war. Till 53 they had this Korean war. Exactly, I'm not sure whether it's 50 in which they started this war, but it's somewhere in 50 or 51. Anyways, that's not that important. The main important thing here is that North Korea was supported by USSR and South Korea was supported, and even today South Korea is a very good friend of USA. So this was the thing, and because North Korea was supported by USSR and South Korea was supported by USA, since then this country North Korea is having a very, you can say, hostile relationship with USA. So things were, from the history of these two countries, things were not that cordial between, or they were not good friends. But later on what we find is that this Korea, right, it started developing some sort of nuclear weapons and things like that. Not nuclear weapons, but it got in its hand nuclear technology, and later on it started, people were aware about this thing, that it is proliferating, it is heading towards nuclear weapons. But before we discuss all those things, let's come back to this era of 2017 and 18. Back in 2017, particularly late 2017, right, the way things were going on between these two countries, we heard this sort of terminologies like Rocket Man and other things, right, coming from Mr. Trump. He also talked about this fire and fury. He also warned that North Korea may face a sort of, you can say, attack that has never been imagined by the world. So all these things were taken by, as we see the way things are going on, it looks like it was taken a bit seriously by Kim Jong-un as well, that if they don't stop this aggressive behavior, then they may be attacked. Of course, because they have this nuclear weapons, so it was not going to be that easy as well. But 2017 was something similar to what took place back in Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. Now let me give you a brief overview or a gist of this Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. Again, it was a Cold War era, and I'm sure you know that Cuba is a country that is here. Cuba, communist country, was supported by USSR, so all these missiles were kept here by USSR. So at that point of time as well, it was a big threat for USA. The whole world was afraid that there will be a sort of nuclear war between USSR and USA, or you can say Cuba and USA, with the help of USSR. So it was very hostile situation as well at that point of time. But things are sorted out. Luckily, as we are here in this 12th June 2018, sound diplomacy has again worked. The person that you can see on your screen, he is the president of South Korea. His name is Moon Jae-in, and if you ask me, then personally I would say that he is the main hero who is behind this 12th June meeting between North Korea and USA, because he was the one who sent this invitation when he came to power in South Korea. At that point of time as well, it was said that means his image is that he is a very, you can say, refined diplomat, right? He knows how to sort out things, he knows how to take on challenges and everything. So he was having a very positive, he is in fact having a very positive profile. And at present, this historic meeting that is going on between USA and North Korea, one of the main, you can say, person who has worked in the background is this person that you can see on your screen. In a special video lecture, I have talked about his role as well. Now anyways, let me give you a brief you can say brief timeline of the things that have taken place. Winter Olympics took place in South Korea, and at that point of time, this gentleman, he invited North Korean leaders. So the sister of Kim Jong-un visited South Korea. This was historic, and after that some diplomats from South Korea visited North Korea, and they had a meeting with Kim Jong-un, and at that point of time it was declared that North Korea is ready to have a chat with USA. Now going back to 2003 era, right, North Korea pulled out of this non-proliferation treaty, and since then it has it was imposed with these sanctions. Now for a very long period of time, as you can see, we are talking about nearly 15 years it is going through this sanctions. We have seen change of guard as well in North Korea, but these sanctions were getting more and more tight on North Korea, and its economy was also facing some serious challenges because of this sanctions. It is also said, it's not discussed in this article, but I would like to add here that you have some businessmen, big businessmen in North Korea. They were losing their business and everything, so they were creating pressure on Kim Jong-un as well to do something about it. Kim Jong-un or his father, they survived some of the most toughest time of Korea back in 1994, 1998. Between this era, they had this famine. Many people died, but because of media control, and this is how dictators work, right? This is how they operate. So security apparatus were applied, and all because of all these tactics, they survived. And what we find, and this is very interesting, we don't see any sort of protest going on in North Korea. So it looks like people are supporting this regime. Now, current situation, if we go through economy of North Korea, then we find that it's not that bad. Because we don't have that good media access, people believe that it is very bad. People are hungry and dying and skinny and all these things, but it's not right. In fact, they are doing pretty well. $1,300 per capita income is not that bad when you compare it with other South Asian countries. The other thing is you have movies over there. You can see movies in theaters. Taxis are there, right, plying on the streets. Your shelves in this shopping malls are nearly full or stocked. Rice is available, corn is available cheaply over there, so things are not that bad. But anyways, It wants, of course, North Korea wants to integrate itself with world economy. It wants to play a positive role. That's what it looks, and hopefully this is the first step but not the last one, and we will see something positive out of this meeting as well. Now things like Libyan style takeover, this sort of things means this sort of terminologies we should avoid, particularly USA, right? You have got a couple of officials in USA, they are anti-North Korea, so we have to be a bit careful here, and let's hope for the best from this meeting. Moving on to another item, this is about India redefines its regional role. Now, recent foreign policy moves by New Delhi indicate an inflection point. That means the way we used to deal with all these superpowers, right? Now things have changed. Recently, Prime Minister was in this Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit, and at that point of time, we talked about, or Prime Minister talked about, when I say we, I'm talking about India, right? So Prime Minister talked about Indo-Pacific region. He said that we are not just focusing on China. When we talk about Indo-Pacific region, we are open for constructive talks with all those countries that are a part of this Indo-Pacific region. And we also talked about it's not just about maritime route, it is also about a constructive link with the continental Eurasian nations as well. So when I say Eurasian nations, we are talking about this Central Asian countries. Although, particularly these countries, they have this stan in the end. Right in the north of Afghanistan, you will find Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, right? All these Uzbekistan, all these countries are part of this Eurasian portion. Then you have Azerbaijan, you have Georgia, then you have Russia, of course. And why we are talking about this Eurasian portion? Because of this international north-south trade corridor that is passing through Chabahar. So once it cuts down your journey time into half, cost of your transportation will come down as well with the help of this INSTC. So these are the things that India wants to do. It does not want to see itself in a small cocoon of of rivalry. It wants to play a very positive role. That's what we have said in this SCO meeting, and this is a big change. Now, the central theme was about the time when the world is going through this power shifts and uncertainty and competition. We have seen this USA versus China. We know how things are going on in Europe. So all these things are going on, and we don't want to see ourselves standing with any particular country, right? We want to see ourselves as an independent power, right? An actor across Asia. We don't want to limit ourselves with just Russia or just USA. We have said this thing that with Russia we are having a very good relationship, historic relationship, good defense relationship with Russia. With USA as well, if we go back in the last decade, then we find that we are at our best, right? Relationship between USA and India has never been better than what we are seeing at this point of time. And as far as China is concerned, after this Wuhan meeting, we have said this thing that we may have a bit of problems, but relationship between India and China has many layers, and you may have a bit of problem here and there, but that does not mean that this sort of little bit of problems should pass negativity to this whole spectrum of relationship. Not at all. So this is a change, right, that we find in India's foreign policy. We want to engage with the world. We want to keep a good relationship with Russia, USA, as well as China. Dear friends, if you are following this lecture for a bit of time, then you will be aware about this thing that I have said that India can. I explained you this thing by giving you example of Sri Lanka, by giving you example of Nepal, that India has this potential that we can play positively with all these three major powers, right? They need us as much as we need them, and there is no point of standing or being under umbrella of USA or Russia or China, right? India has said this thing, and this is a very right thing. If we want to earn real respect, then we have to be on the side of principles and not any particular power. Very important, right? We have to stand for the truth or a country that is right rather than any particular country. Now, we also used this word called strategic autonomy. Remember, many times you find this sort of items like, what do you understand by strategic autonomy? Or strategic autonomy is a terminology that has been seen in newspaper, etc., etc. So what do you understand by it? So basically, strategic autonomy, as we have already discussed many things about it, right, in the past, that's what we are talking about, that we stand for principles. The other thing is we are too big now, right? We are not that country that was poor. We are politically and militarily powerful now, and we don't want to see ourselves limited to any particular country. As far as Indo-Pacific region is concerned, right, it's not just about China, but as I told you, it's about other countries as well. Right, we want to spread pluralism, we want to spread coexistence, we want to spread openness, we want to have a dialogue with all the countries that are part of this Indo-Pacific regions. This is a big change as well, because what we saw earlier on, it was about Quad and other things, but now recently we rejected this a request of Australia to become part of this Malabar exercise, and this was a first step. The other thing is our foreign secretary said that big countries can peacefully coexist despite differences in their systems and that they can work together. Now, many times we find that there lack of vision, lack of positive vision. Just place yourself in the position of the South Korean president. Imagine the amount of pressure he might have gone through when he said or when he proposed this thing that he is going to have a chat with, or he is going to invite sister of Kim Jong-un during this Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games, right? But what we see that this decision, this positive decision of president has led to this 12th June meeting. Same thing applies to Indo-China relationship as well. You never know. If we build good relationship, a positive relationship with China, then China can work as a good agent for us, and relationship between Pakistan and India as well can change forever. Why can't we become friends when Germany, France, England, right, all these countries who were basically Germany and England and France, they were against each other. Means these two countries were against Germany, to be more specific here. I don't want to create any confusion. So during World War II they were against each other, but now they are part of players, they are partners. So something similar can take place between India and Pakistan. At the end of the day, we used to be one country, one people. So if we take these things positively, then the future can be good for the whole South Asian region. Apart from that, dear friends, most of the things we have already discussed, right, drifting towards USA since last 10 years or something, particularly after 2008, we were getting more and more close to USA. But the world is multipolar now. It's not in the hand of USA or Russia. Many other countries are rising. China is there. You have India, of course. So we would like to rather stick with principles rather than any particular country. Now, this one is about AI Garage. Niti Aayog has said that India can become artificial intelligence. We can develop this artificial intelligence ecosystem in our country. We can use it in 5 sectors like education, healthcare, smart cities, agriculture, transport. Very good thing. Let's bring it on. Right. It also said, this Niti Aayog report said that India can, right, it has a potential to provide solutions for 40% of world's artificial intelligence related things. Basically, we can become artificial intelligence garage of the world. Now, it looks very, again, romantic, very sweet when we imagine that everyone is coming to us for their artificial intelligence problem. But the reality is altogether different. First of all, we have to develop range of applications, range of items that we can use in cancer treatment, traffic management, and other things. You can imagine You can have wild imagination, right? We can apply this artificial intelligence in all these things. May it be training your dog, may it be having a sort of friend with you, or personal secretary with you all the time that can help you with your preparation or with your office work and other things, right? We can utilize artificial intelligence for many things, but for that we have to experiment different applications. Do we have all those things? No. Then when we see countries like USA, Japan and China, they are publishing artificial intelligence strategy documents. They are working on it. They are investing it. They have got the best universities and other things. If you just look at China, then we find that they are handing out millions of dollars, right? They have these schemes. They provide money to artificial intelligence firms. They are also running this 5-year university program in their universities in their country. What we find? Do we find something similar in our country? Nope. Right, we don't have that many you can say experts in our country. We have limited artificial intelligence researchers in our country. And then you have this thing called H index. It's a measure of how often its papers are cited. When I say papers, I mean to say research papers are cited. We are behind 18 countries. So it looks a bit ambitious, but before trying this range of applications without supporting R&D and universities, we want to be able to achieve this 40% dream. Then you have this story of ceasefire violation. Very easy to understand article, right? As I told you, 50% of this article is about politics and 50% is about facts and figures. So we'll quickly go through facts, right? We have seen this intensity of ceasefire violation has gone up in recent past. We also have registered this 19 military casualties as well as 12 civilian casualties in recent past. And we don't have reports, exact report of Pakistan's casualties because they don't publish this things. Anyways, dear friends, the thing is, the sad thing is local boys are joining the rank of militancy in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, what we find is, see, the thing is, multiple things are going on, right? There is a change in stand by the government of India as well because of elections are just around the corner. And as I told you, the half of this article is about this politics, BJP, and how it is taking it. And it is basically saying that it used to have this hard line, you know. They said that Article 370, they are going to get rid of it. They are going to hunt down these militants and all these things. So this was helpful for BJP's image, right? But what we find now is that this returns of this hard policy, right? They are diminishing. They are not producing that good result, and this is going to be a bit of problem for BJP and central government. Basically, if we want to do something about it, then we have to have our word with army of army of China, beg your pardon, army of Pakistan, and we can rope in USA and China to pressurize Pakistan, and then we can see a bit of change in this issues that we find in our state of Jammu and Kashmir. Here you can see at least someone in our country is promoting or doing something to protect our environment. Hats off to all these people out there. Let me take you through some important news item very quickly. UK has said that it is going to help us locate Nirav Modi. Under divine care, turtles swim in temple tank. Now in Assam, they have found this important species of turtles. You have black soft turtle, and then you have Indian soft shell turtle. So they are part of this vulnerable list, and this black soft shell turtle was declared extinct in the wild by IUCN. So keep these things or names in mind because you find questions pertaining to these items. Then Rajnath Singh has reviewed Prime Minister's security because of this death threats. India is going to host first BIMSTEC War Games. What is the full form of BIMSTEC? Stick your answer in at the comment section, and do let me know the countries that are part of this BIMSTEC. Maldives has said to India to remove these helicopters, and then you have this Pradhan Mantri Matrutva Vandana Yojana. As you can see on your screen, it is producing some positive results. Some important items are here. Go through it, help yourself These are your answers. These are your questions, dear friends. Make sure you check out StudyIQ.com for this offer. Thank you very much for listening. Do share this lecture with your friends. Enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.